Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So let's see here. We got a lot going on this target. That's kind of busy. This stuff, that's the 160 for the 6.5 Creedmoor way back when. But was finally able to get out and do some shooting today. After had a bunch of stuff loaded up, ready to shoot, and finally had awesome weather today. Enough time to get out there because it took a while. Me and Emily, we were out there for quite a while trying to get some of this stuff done, and still didn't even finish everything. I only got halfway through the 308 rounds that I wanted to test. I was able to get a few more groups for the 338 shot, but for the most part, I got some 300 blackout that I loaded up, got some of that shot. I got the 22-250 sighted in. 6.5 Creedmoor test that I wanted to run, got it done. Just overall, we accomplished a lot. We ran out of time. We didn't have enough time. Let's see, she shot the Grendel a good bit. I think she shot probably 30 or 40 rounds on the Grendel, just kind of getting a feel for it. But so this is it's kind of a busy target. But this was the green dots were I loaded up, this is when I loaded up five 5-shot groups of these guys right here, of the 120 grain Pro Hunters from Sierra, and then the 125 grain Nosler Partitions. So loaded up a total of 50 rounds. Each bullet got five 5-shot groups for 25 shots per projectile there. And we started at whatever the max charge was. On this, on this one, I used Winchester stay ball, the 6.5 stay ball powder. I actually used it for this test, even though typically I load 6.5 Creedmoor with H4350. I've got a couple of pounds of the 6.5 stay ball. I was like, well, this is probably a good time to break it out. And so I used that. Of course, I had to go on Hodgson's website to get load data for it. And so it wasn't necessarily identical. It wasn't the bullet manufacturer's load data. I guess that's probably my main point here. I want to make that abundantly clear. I had to pull it off of Hodgson, so it wasn't the exact same projectile. So I was doing one of those, getting close. I feel like this is probably going to be a good max charge, so let me go with that and then work backwards by 0.2 of a grain. So that's what I did on these first four. So those four, and then this one down here on the left, those are the 120 grain Sierra Pro Hunters. And so it's these four and this one right here. That's the 5-shot group. I need a pen to kind of mark these out, But then, so you got that 5-shot group there. Then you've got this 5-shot group here. And then the third one is that 5-shot group. So it opened up pretty ugly. And then the fourth one, still not that great. Fifth one, so that's our max charge there. The performance wasn't there, and maybe going lower, because that's really crap. That's close to probably our tightest group there. I'm not even going to put the calipers on these, to be honest with you. It's not even worth it. I'm not going to pursue, even the 125, the Noslers, that was our starting charge. And then second group, the third group, it showed promise. You got those 3 touching there, and then you kick out a couple to the side. So, obviously that one was a little bit intriguing, but then the fourth group, you just open right back up to garbage. And then the fifth group, pretty garbage. So, I wouldn't pursue either one of these projectiles. Not with that, maybe, if I had nothing else and it's like, hey, this is what I'm going to hunt with. But really the 120 class, I'm not loading that up in the Creedmoor anyway. I just did this as it was intriguing. I just wanted to do it to cover the entire, what I thought was the effective bullet range, the effective grain weight range on the projectiles for the Creedmoor, which I feel is 120 up to what we've shown is 160 with the Hornady round nose. And those performed, I mean, those groups, you know, I mean, I know you got some kind of tore through some of them here, but I mean, those groups, to be honest with you, kind of blew these away. Yeah, these were just kind of all over the place. I mean, it's just ugly. So not even gonna put the calipers on them to figure out what was what, which is disappointing. I mean, I did expect better performance out of this, but at the same time, I wasn't gonna, you know, more than likely, even if these perform really well, I wasn't gonna load these up and hunt with them. I mean, I just wanted to test them, see how they would do with that particular powder, which might not be, I guess, giving them a fair shake, since I really use H4350 with everything Creedmoor, but I had the stay ball, so I decided to give them a shot. So just for my rifle, which again will remind you guys is this guy, it's the Savage 110 Tactical. These didn't pair up just in that small window of powder bullet combination. So, you know, whatever. I could probably find, you know, really good load combos for these two, probably with H4350, or maybe lower charge weights on the stay ball stuff. That powder is supposed to be, you know, one of your better velocity powders. So maybe, I don't know, maybe just slowing these projectiles down a little bit, maybe the groups would tighten up and it would be a great shooter. But even if it was, that's not what I'm loading up to take to the woods. So we'll put those off to the side, probably test these in the Grendel, because we still have some left out of each box. So that's more of a Grendel sort of weight range, in my opinion. So now what we're going to move on to, so and by seeing the performance in those today, we're just going to automatically kick these out, send those down to the Grendel, because the Grendel shoots those pretty good anyway. So no need in wasting them on, you know, in the Creedmoor when I've got all this other stuff to load up. So that's kind of what we're left with. The 140s, as far as hunting projectiles go, you know, we've already tested the 160s and those shot great, far exceeded expectations. So those are pretty intriguing. We got some of those left. I think we still have 50 of those left we can load up. We haven't tried the ELDX yet. Up next, I'm probably going to load up 25 rounds of the 129 grain SSTs and then the 140 grain AMAX. So we'll probably do 25 rounds of each, kind of put those head to head. And then, yeah, and then we'll go from there. The next group of testing will probably be the Gold Dots versus the ELDX. And then probably save those are match, so I'm not going to hunt with these anyway. So those really need to be out of the bullet pile for what we got left. But that's really it. I'm going to try to establish a good hunting load out of this whole group. I mean, the 160s are showing promise. The velocities are going to be a lot lower than what we could achieve otherwise with some of the other projectiles. Now, the 120s, you can definitely get them going pretty quick, up close to 3,000 feet per second. But, you know, if they don't shoot, they don't shoot. So I'd rather tighten those groups up, find something that'll hit the woods with high level of confidence. You know, good sort of precision, acceptable precision, repeatability, and good enough velocity to get the job done at the distances that we shoot. So that's it. So that shooting was done today. Let's see what else. I'll just do this will just be a results video, mostly a Creedmoor, but then results for 3 different rifles. So these are the first, first 4 groups. Really it's groups 2 through 6. as far as loading goes that I shot. These are with the 308, the FNAR. These are the 168 grain gold dots. So this is on the lower end of the charge weight for Varget. So there's your 5-shot group. There, again, not even going to measure it. Here's your second 5-shot group. Just kind of some vertical stringing going on, and all of a sudden you get one that kicks out way to the left, so not even going to bother with that one. And so yeah, just kind of disappointing on the low end, but again, that's lower end. A lot of people, even some people have commented on previous videos, you know, they don't see really good results with Varget till you start to push it, you know, on your velocities, get up there near max, even past max is where they see some of their better performance. So yeah, we still have the last 5 charge weights to shoot. We just ran out of time today, so we got the last 5 to shoot. So more to follow on that. Hopefully we'll start to see some tightening of the groups as we get higher in the charge weights, get a little more velocity going, and I'm hoping, you know, fingers crossed, these 168 shoot pretty well. I don't have a huge stockpile of 308 projectiles, so I would have to hit the stores. I'd have to hit up Mr. Big Guns and start trying to find more stuff to test. So I'm hoping those 168 shoot halfway decent. If we can get those, if we can get them sub MOA consistently, then we'll rock and roll with that. Let's see. And then here, so this is some 300 blackout action. All right, so the group in the middle where you have some obvious instability signs of instability there. You'll see the bullet holes look a little bit funky, right? You don't have your nice clean like what you have here. Nice clean bullet holes. You've got some that are kind of funky, got a little tail to them and different things. So that's just showing me, hey, those 220 grain Lapua Cinars that I loaded up for the subsonics, you know, they're not stabilizing fully in my setup. You know, 8.5-inch barrel. I can't remember the twist rate on that thing, but you know, we were running CFE black or CFE BLK as the powder. I think we were at 12.1 grains. Now that's what the manual calls for, the Hodgson website calls for, but that's with a 16-inch barrel. So I guarantee you we were down probably we were probably in the 900 some odd feet per second range. We were in the 900s, I bet, more than likely. So, but it functioned. The cool thing is the gun functioned, no problem. Ran all of them, no issues whatsoever. These 9 shots, these were with the Nosler ballistic tips, the 125 grain Nosler ballistic tip hunting projectiles. Not too bad there. And I'll make a note, this was at 50 yards. The other targets were at 100 yards. This one was at 50 because 300 blackout for the purpose that we're going to be using it. Yeah, if we're shooting further than that, then we need to grab a different rifle. So we're keeping everything at 50 yards, supers and subs. So this was loaded up supersonic, this was using Hodgson little gun. We loaded up 10 total rounds. There's only 9 here. I'll show you the 10th one, what happened on it. And then this is the 10 for the Barnes tipped TSX. That's the 130 grain. So that thing, I'm thinking we're just gonna stick with those. I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean, I was shooting off the side of my truck, off the bed, the side of the bed of my truck. I had a bag thrown up there on the rail of the bed, and so I mean, it's not like this was the most stable shooting platform that I was using. So to have the groups come out the way they did, you know, with that 3-power or 3X prism optic on it from Primary Arms, I mean, couldn't be happier on the 300 blackout performance. The 220 grain, the stability issues, that is a little disappointing because I have a whole box of those guys. I was hoping that it would run great and I would be able to use that box. So now I'm like, you know, I'm not too thrilled about that. I mean, it's not terrible, but at the same time, I would have just liked to have seen it. You know, I'd like to see that stability a little better. It'd make me feel a little bit better. I may load some more up at a higher charge weight because I know we were definitely way down there in the feet per second. May load up a little bit higher charge weight, see how they perform. But I'm thinking, you know, just looking at the Nosler without even putting calipers on it or anything, just looking at that group of 9, then transition into this group of 10. I mean, it's no comparison in my opinion. We're gonna stick with the Barnes. So that'll be the supersonic load that we have. I don't even know where I threw those guys. They're around here somewhere. That'll be the supersonic load that we have. And then we still have to work on the subsonic, figure out what we're doing there. Oh, there they are. So we'll just kind of put the Noslers off to the side. We may kind of tinker around with the load data, because all I did was load up the max charge of what Hodgson recommended. So that's it. All I did was I loaded 10 rounds with the max charge of what Hodgson said for the supers, and called it a day. I think it was 21 grains of little gun for the Nosler ballistic tips, and I think it was like 18.5 maybe for the Barnes. That's what, going off Hodgson, just the bullet weight recommendation, I think it was something to that effect. So again, these bullets weren't referenced on that load data. It was just sort of, I can't remember what it was, might have been some Sierras or something, but we used that data. That was the performance we got. So super happy with the Barnes. Noslers may take a little more work, and then the subsonics, it is what it is. We'll try to find something else, but that's it. So that's just sort of a big overall, you know, 3 caliber results video. Again, disappointed in the way the Creedmoor panned out, but that's why I really think the 140 class is more its speed. The 160s were surprising, but we're probably going to primarily focus around that 140 class. So, all right, that's it, guys. I hope y'all have a good one. I'm about to start processing, doing some brass prep on the 6.5 and then the 300 blackout. Oh yeah, I told you I'd show you what happened to that guy. So it was a failure to feed, and I sit there and I'm like, what in the world? So I drop the mag, and then this guy falls out. Apparently he got wedged in there somehow and deformed the tip. And then I didn't shoot it. That was all. I mean, I'll probably shoot it next time I head out there. But so that's it. That's all. So hope you guys and gals have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will talk to you guys next time. Y'all have a good one.